You know, it's one thing to read the weekly crop reports sent from the state. It's another thing to be in the field with those crops, and Bill does just that. He's here from Tilth Agronomy to give us some firsthand information and advice. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Elaine.
Let's start with an introduction to Tilth Agronomy overall, who your staff is and what services you can provide.
Sure. We're an independent crop consulting company. We cover most of the state, but generally the northeast part, northeast to the eastern half of the state. We have about 12 employees. And most of us do all the services, crop scouting in the summer, a lot of nutrient management plan writing in the winter, crop budgeting for our farmers, along with chemical recommendations, fertilizer recommendations, those types of things to help farmers progress in the fields and ultimately make money.
And very interesting backgrounds. I've chatted with a number of your staff. Some of them grew up on farms, some of them just passionate about the industry. That breadth of knowledge is so important.
Yeah, it takes a whole clan to bring us all together. And we have a wide variety of backgrounds, people that started in different professions and it didn't work out for them, so they came and worked for us and it worked out for them. So yeah, farm backgrounds, non-farm backgrounds, everybody brings something different to the table.
Let's talk about your clients right now. What's top of mind? What questions are you getting every day?
Harvest season is upon us, of course, and with the last 2 years being so wet, we're just worried about getting harvest off in a timely fashion. Economically, because the wetter it is, the harder the field conditions are, the more money it costs to get that harvest taken off the field. That's the biggest question right now.
Big crop in the area, soybeans, how are they looking? I know the lack of moisture can really stunt a plant.
Yeah, I mean, we were sitting pretty good through June and July, and in most areas I think we're okay, but in this northeast part, it got a little dry in August, and they always say for soybeans especially, beans are made in August. So without some rain, I think we're going to have smaller beans, maybe a little bit less of a yield there. I think the yields would be pretty good. Corn's looking okay. It is stressed in some areas, so we might have lower starch and some corn silage, but otherwise I think we're doing all right.
When it comes to making those decisions about when it's ready to harvest, what do you advise your clients? They should be looking at actual numbers, right?
Yeah, take samples from the field. We do a lot of that at our company, especially now in September, going out in the field and getting those samples, doing the dry downs ourselves. The counties also offer those, but we do so many that we have to do it ourselves and get it done in a timely fashion. So look at those hard numbers and try to do your best to get an average of the field. It's really hard to do that, but do your best to get a field average.
Have you had folks that are short on corn? I mean, that they're harvesting because they need some for this year?
Yeah, a few, not too many. We've had a good corn harvest the last couple years. It's been less, but it's been enough to get them by. Most of the farmers that are short, I think, have already had contacts made that they're already buying forage from someone else where they can keep their stocks up. Hay coming into this year was tough, but we've had a pretty good year this year for haylage harvest.
Wheat, very in demand from what I understand as well. If you happen to have some, you can probably get an okay price for it?
Yeah, winter wheat, especially the straw, of course. With the last 2 falls being so wet, there's been no winter wheat really planted in the state. So a lot of stuff came in from Canada for their rations and for bedding and things like that. But for the most part, I think this year is going to set us up for a good planting, and then next year we'll be sitting really good.
And it's important to note farms of all size can benefit from working with services like Tilth Agronomy, even the small farms and the very large ones. It's great to get that expert advice, and thank you for giving us some of that this morning.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.